Guys, this is honestly insane. I just want to document this moment with you guys. I don't know where I'm going to take this video, but you guys see the title of this video. I have now finally surpassed as an entrepreneur with my businesses, making more than 300k per year in British pounds, which is obviously insane. For you guys that are over in America, that's more than 353k per year. Now, this is not total sales or anything like that, guys. I've actually surpassed way more than 300k in total sales and way more than 353k in total sales. I'm talking about in the last 12 months alone. That's basically what I'm talking about. Now, before I get into this, I'm not making this video to kind of like flex on anybody. I'm literally just documenting my journey from zero to literally being here. So this is kind of like an update, kind of like how my journey is going. Basically just to kind of like update you guys. If you guys don't know me as well, I've literally been on this journey, if you will, since it was actually December 2017. It was actually kind of before that, but I actually only started YouTube in January 2018. You can actually go back to my very first video on this particular channel and you'll literally see me there in my video completely broke on a sofa. And I literally had my phone just basically, there was an old iPhone, a dinky iPhone 7 that I literally was recording myself, just talking about how I wanted to start a YouTube channel from completely broke. I wanted to get into drop shipping, that sort of stuff, guys. Now that is actually really funny, but I'll get back to that story in a second. I just want to show proof before I even get into any of this. I know that it's, kind of hard to believe, if you will. There's some dude online, is he just a guru? Is he just selling courses? That sort of stuff. By the way, go and watch one of my last videos and you'll see that all of this is not just from courses. My course only just came out friggin' last year or whatever it was. I've been making money way before this. I was at 10k per month way before my program even existed. It wasn't even a thought before I was making 10k a month. But long story short, guys, let's take a look into actually my PayPal real quick. So I'm on my screen right now. As you can see, what I'll do in fact is I'll refresh this page just so you can see, right? And then what I'll do is I'll quickly go into and just basically set it from, I guess what we'll do is go from all the way from August. Today's date is the 24th. So we go from the 24th, right, to today. So the 24th of August 2021 to today, basically. So exactly 1 year. As you can see, it says 7,492 British pounds. I'm not too sure what that is. I think that's like only like $10,000 or whatever that is. But long story short, guys, there's three methods of payment I receive, right? There's Stripe payments, which is basically like normal card payments. That's how I basically charge cards, if you will. Then there's PayPal payments. Then there's crypto payments. Then there's direct bank transfers. Now I'm just going to show you the actual PayPal and the actual my Stripe account. So I'm going to go into my Stripe account now, refresh the page as well. Stripe is my main payment processor, as you can friggin' see. I'll quickly go to month to date as well, so you can kind of see what we're doing, kind of like what we hit with, this particular month. We've hit like 41, 42-ish K or something like that. Yeah, it's actually 42-ish, it's more than 42K actually. I think it's like 43K or something like that. And we've got another 7 days left of this month, which is absolutely insane. So we should actually hit, if things go to plan, we should actually hit a 50k month this month in British pounds. I'm not too sure what that is in US dollars, but as you can see, from the last 12 months alone, I've made 294,650 pounds in gross volume. This is not net profit. Net profit's anywhere between, it depends on what I'm selling. If it's agency services, then it's like 80% profit margins, I would say, maybe even like 70, dipping into 75 these days, because we're doing a little bit more hires and whatnot. Got first line writers, that sort of stuff, software, all that sort of stuff, like Lemlist accounts, multiple Lemlist accounts at this particular point, and multiple burner domains as well. But long story short, guys, the profit margins are still very, very healthy, even if it is 75%. I'll say 75% to be on the conservative side for the agency stuff. And then when it comes to like consulting or like my education business, stuff like that, the actual profit margins of that is pretty much 97%. Now, I'm not just out here, just selling freaking courses. You guys can go and watch my previous video, because I literally document how much I'm making per month with my actual educational stuff. And it's only really just started surpassing kind of like in the last couple of months, or however long it's been. Not quote me on that. You can literally go back and watch my videos. It's only just really started surpassing kind of like my agency and stuff like that, which is really, really cool. It's kind of crazy as well, because I never actually push any of my programs or anything like that. If you know me, you basically just get in. If you want my help, that is, I just guide people, if you will. But long story short, guys, as you can see, we've got 294,000 pounds here. I'm not sure what that is in USD, but that alone is pretty much almost at the 300k mark. So this obviously takes it over, obviously, with a 7k on PayPal. So as you can see, that's more than 300k right now. I think that's like 301k or whatever it is, 302k or whatever it is. Not to mention though, I've had crypto payments. There's probably a couple thousand in crypto payments. Then I know for a fact there's a couple thousand in direct bank transfers as well. So we're looking at probably closer to, realistically, 310,000. And if I go to my actual Stripe account real quick, guys, and I go to like the last 3 months alone, out of this 300k, which is absolutely crazy by the way, to actually be making that sort of money at the age of 26 from home without a boss, I literally have time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom at this point. My literal bills, I am not even joking, my literal bills for this apartment is £750 per month, and I'm making like literally 40k a month. So as you can see, I'm very, very frugal with the way how I'm living. I'm living way below my means, should I say. I'm probably gonna pick up a very expensive car very, very soon. I've actually just inquired about it. I can't reveal any too much details on that, but that's pretty much a $100,000 car, to be honest with you, that I'm looking at right now, that I'm inquiring about. My credit score's kind of shot, and I probably will be getting on finance because it makes so much more sense financially. Ask any business owner if they buy their cars outright, or they finance them, they all finance them. It's actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Business people don't actually own shit. They normally lease them, or they get through their business, if you will. It's really smart move. Read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad if you disagree with me on that. But long story short, guys, as you can see, the last 3 months alone, I've hit £115,400, and obviously that's just on Stripe. So it's probably closer to 120,000 in the last 3 months alone. So as you can see, the business is absolutely growing. Now, what is it that I actually genuinely do? There's only two things I really do, guys. I do an agency, I run a marketing agency, and what we do is we do kind of like two different things, well, technically three different things. Number one is our main service, right? Which I don't actually like, to be honest with you guys. It's a little bit of a headache. I'll explain why in probably another video. I've probably done a lot of this on my channel before. If not, I'll make a dedicated video to this. But we do Facebook ads for e-commerce brands. All we do is we run Facebook ads for e-commerce brands. And I personally have a team to do that for me. I found a team, vetted them, looked around. It took me ages, by the way. This is not easy stuff, guys. I don't want you to think this is just like, you can just look in on this and think this is easy. This literally took me 4 years to get here, guys. Since it was actually April 2018 that I actually officially announced I was starting an agency. I didn't land a client for 17 months. Well, technically, I did land a client in that particular time, but it was like a very small hair salon client, which I actually found his number, by the way. My actual client's number is actually in my WhatsApp. I actually downloaded WhatsApp the other day just to communicate with my dad, because he actually went on holiday, and the what is it called? The Euro roaming charges. I didn't want to get hit with a charges or anything like that. Or he didn't want to hit with the charges, so I just literally just downloaded a WhatsApp to just keep up to date with my dad actually. And I went through my contacts and I actually found my actual old very first client. He actually owns a hair salon in Manchester, which is absolutely insane. I'm not too sure what their business is doing now or anything like that, but that's my first ever client. It was like £250 for social media management. I got them through Instagram DM. It was not pretty, guys, at all. It was literally it was not pretty at all. The onboarding process was all off. It was terrible, guys. And then my first actual real client, if you will, that I'm actually genuinely proud of, that I literally mentioned on his channel, that took me 17 months, by the way, to get, because I actually changed my strategy a little bit, was a real estate client, right, in Leicester. Yeah, it was in Leicester. I always think it's Leicestershire. It's not Leicestershire, it's Leicester, if you will. And that's a little small town, I think Leicester's actually classed as, or a city. I'm just going to say city, to be honest with you. Yeah, Leicester's definitely a city, I believe. So, small city in Sheffield, real estate agent, and I actually got them through LinkedIn. The way how I got them was I literally just started creating like content about Facebook ads for real estate agents, and I just literally started connecting with a whole bunch of real estate agents, right? To the point where it literally was just like, my entire LinkedIn was just real estate agents. Then I was just posting content every single day about Facebook ads for real estate agents. This thing about real estate agents, how to do Facebook ads for real estate agents, top 3 mistakes real estate agents do or come across when they're running Facebook ads. And I'm basically just breaking down like Facebook ads for real estate agents. Literally just content all day, every day. Literally like one piece of content per day. And then I released like a case study video on like industry kind of like results. And I just talked about like what this Facebook ad stuff is and how it can actually help a real estate agent. And I literally landed my first client within like when I dropped that case study, I think it was like 48 hours or 72 hours or something like that. Somebody like a real estate agent actually opted in to watch my case study. They booked in a call with me, and I got on the call with them and I closed them straight away in one call. Like literally, I'm not even joking, within 72 hours. I literally have a video on that, by the way, on this very channel. So that's how I kind of, that's kind of like the agency stuff. So we've got kind of like 3 things we do. Facebook ads for e-commerce brands. I don't really, the funny thing is, I feel like I'm the only guru that kind of like will say how it is. I don't really like the word guru, by the way. But long story short, I personally don't really like doing Facebook ads for brands. It's actually more difficult than you think. It's a lot of headache. and you've got a lot of pressure on you. With something like social media management, which is the other service that we actually offer, if you will, and we've got clients that we can literally live off referral to referral now. We're actually starting to see a lot of referral work now. So I don't really even need to use Upwork. So I know that you guys are familiar with the channel. I use Upwork to get social media management clients. And I quote unquote, I can't really say it on cameras. I don't want to get banned. I don't want to, I'm not affiliated with Upwork, but DM me for this, whatever timestamp this is, just remember it and just be like, hey Montel, what would you say? What was you about to say in this timestamp? And I'll tell you what I was about to say. But long story short, guys, there's a cool way of not getting hit with the Upwork fees. I'll leave it at that. Long story short, but I don't really need to use Upwork anymore, guys. To be honest with you, I can live from referrals. I can get clients from my clients, basically, literally like that. Not only that, but we can do cold emails anyway. The only thing I want to kind of like break down in this is that Upwork, you don't need it forever. Upwork is just if you guys are familiar with the hybrid system is using Upwork to land smaller ticket clients like social media management clients. You get that cash flow coming in, and then you can outsource, or even hire, should I say, virtual assistants to actually do you outreach outside of the Upwork platform. So like away from the Upwork platform, like Instagram DMs, LinkedIn DMs, cold emails, and they'll actually do you 50 or 100 outreach per day, for example, depending on how good the outreach is, of course. The more outreach you do, probably the less quality it is, but the less outreach they do, the more quality it will be. So you need to find that perfect line in between, if you will. So that's kind of like what we're doing for the social media management thing, and why. So that's why we do social media management, and why we do kind of like two things, even though we're supposed to be focusing on one thing, if you will. As an agency owner, I do recommend focusing on one thing, unless you're using the hybrid system. So don't let that confuse you. So that's the two things we do in our agency. Then we also do consulting. Consulting is basically like helping either other agency owners start their own agency, or do outreach, or figure out the hybrid system and implement that into their business, or it's helping like other actual brands and coaching them on what to do. We're kind of like slowly drawing those sorts of clients in, and I'm kind of transitioning from, right now I've got like an education business / consulting business plus my agency. I'm kind of moving away from both of those to kind of like create a business that takes both of those things and kind of smashes it together. Again, I keep mentioning this on my channel, but I'm not there yet, guys. So just give me another couple months or whatever it is. Let me figure out the details, because I want to bring this to the market, if you will. But I feel like this is going to be a better business model for everybody, to be honest with you. Better than SMA and consulting combined, because it's going to combine the both of those two things, if you will. Best of both worlds. So there's the agency side. So that's kind of like what we do in the agency side. Then there's the educational side. The educational side is, I've already mentioned one half of it, which is just helping other agency owners start and scale their own agency. That's basically all I do. I figured out how to do it myself. I was making 10K per month already before I actually had a friggin' online program or anything like that. And that's documented on this channel, by the way. So yeah, nobody can take that away from me. And then what I've realized is a lot of people come to me through my YouTube channel, which is completely fine. And they ask for my help, which is completely fine. Again, I don't push this out to anybody. I don't run ads. I don't DM people about this. I'm not scamming nobody. Literally, it's just, if you know me, you watch my channel, you like me, you see what I'm doing, you can see that I'm trying to be as transparent as possible, then you actually come and ask me for help. I'll give you help if you obviously are in the right place for me to help you. And that's basically all I do. The second thing I do for my education company is I've started to get lots of requests for the one-to-one stuff that I physically either need to quit consulting, quit YouTube, or quit my agency. There's no way I'm quitting either of those. So I had to basically figure out how to do all of these together. So I decided to kind of like put the exact same training that I was coaching people one-to-one, like consulting with people one-to-one style, if you will, because that's like how I teach other agency owners to scale up. And I basically had to put that inside that online program, if you will, called Agency Transmutation. And that came out like January 2021. It's still being built out to this day, guys. Honestly, it's probably one of the best things I've ever built. It's taken me so friggin' long. There's a lot of research that goes into it. It is not easy. I will never, ever disrespect anybody ever again that's actually selling an online program that genuinely works. If it genuinely works, by the way, with my online program, we have over 230 something screenshots. I think it's actually closer to 250 screenshots of just testimonials, reviews, and actual student results. There's over 250 of them, guys. And that basically within the year, or I think it's like a year and a month or something like that. So obviously that's quite a few results that we're actually able to generate. There's been multiple six-figure people to use that program and scale to six figures. So it's more than a fluke at this point. Maybe like 4 or 5 testimonials, or like 6 or 7 testimonials would be like you could technically class it as a fluke. Maybe you haven't got enough data or sample size, but not 230 something or 250. It's actually close to 250. I like to say 230 to be conservative. But yeah, that's all I'm basically doing, guys. Now, here's a few lessons that I basically learned. I'm just gonna reel these off really quickly because I don't want to take too much of your guys' time. Right now, it's not about you and what you want. So, for example, if you think you're gonna start an agency and you're just gonna offer Facebook ads to this niche, niche, that's incorrect thinking. You actually need to go to the niche first, figure out what their pain problems are, and then offer that as a solution. Find out what Susie wants for lunch and offer that. That's how you're going to get, rich in this particular game. So you want to listen to the market. Number 2 is you have to test everything. Now, you will get everything wrong, but as long as you're doing something and getting feedback from it, you know how to adjust. So I would rather you go in the wrong direction and then figure out it's the wrong direction and then turn all the way back and then go in the right direction than you not take action at all. A lot of people get analysis paralysis in this industry because there's just so much information out there. Just stick to just take one thing and just stick to it. So for example, if you hear all these different outreach methods, literally just sit there and think, what outreach method do you reckon in fact, just send 100 messages on each different platform to your ideal niche and see which one gets you the best response. Once you actually get the best response out of, for example, let's say you send 100 Instagram DMs to the ecom brand, see if you actually get responses back, or you can actually go and send 100 emails to the same kind of like industry, different brands obviously, and see if they respond. Whichever one gives you the best response rate, that's how you know which platform you should actually be using to go forward, because obviously you want to be hitting people where they actually want to communicate with. Or be communicated with, should I say. You want to test everything. Everything you need to test as like a science. You need to keep constants and change out different variables. Now, the third thing is kind of cliche, but investing in yourself is the greatest thing you can ever do. Let me give you a story. Just as I was mentioning a second ago, it literally took me 17 months to get my first client. It wasn't until I actually started and I actually found an actual mentor that actually sat me down and taught me the Upwork stuff. I then started implementing that. And I'm not even joking, 15 days, literally 5 days into actually starting Upwork, I landed my very first client from 10 outreach per day times 15, that's 150 outreach that I did on Upwork. By the way, cold emails literally took me 1,600 emails just to land me my first ever e-commerce client. And that was when I restarted cold emails again. Now, the fourth thing is never listen to anybody, because you're never gonna win. One person will say, do this thing. Another person will say, why are you doing that? You should be doing that. It's almost like that picture. I'm not too sure if you guys have seen it on social media. It's where that couple, it's like a couple and they've got a donkey. And they're walking the donkey, and it's like there's a crowd of people, like 2 people saying, look at these 2 stupid idiots. They don't even know how to utilize the donkey. They should be sat on the donkey. Then the guy sits on the donkey while the woman's off the donkey, right? Imagine this. So there's a guy, his wife, a donkey, and they're walking through, I don't know, some town or something like that. Bethlehem, friggin' Bethlehem. We'll take Bethlehem story in the Bible, if you will. And there's 2 people, Mary and Joseph is a donkey, right? Let's say. And then there's 2 people watching them. So if you're not on the donkey, people will complain and say, why are these 2 people so dumb? They don't even know how to use a donkey. They both should be sat on the donkey. Then one person sits on the donkey, maybe the husband. Another person will then complain out of the crowd, for example, saying like, why is he sat on the donkey? It should be his wife sat on the donkey. Then if it's the other way around, somebody will say something on the lines of, why aren't they both on the donkey? They're so stupid. The donkey can carry 2 people. Then if they both sat on the donkey, somebody would complain about them both being on a donkey, and they would say, poor donkey, why is its back almost breaking? So no matter what you do, guys, there's always going to be someone to say something. You're never going to get it right. So don't try to please everybody is what I'm trying to say. Now, the fifth thing I was about to say is mindset is way more important than the skills. The skills in SMA, or even just entrepreneurship in general, you can actually go and buy them. It sounds so friggin' weird, but you can literally just go and find somebody who's good at, like, I don't know, cold outreach, for example, and you can just go and buy their strategy off them. You can just go and buy their course off them, or you can just buy their time and tell them to teach you. It's the mindset though that's more important. So if you're scared of taking like risks, scared money doesn't make money, as they say. If you don't actually believe in yourself and put your own money where your mouth is, you're probably not going to get out of this. And it all comes down to mindset, as well as just being disciplined enough to not go out and do stupid stuff or spend your money on that thing, but to reinvest it back into your business. Those are the sorts of things that you actually really need. And again, it sounds so freaking cliche, but mindset is actually way more important than skills. Again, the skills anybody can learn right now. You can literally go and buy a Facebook ads course. Literally, you can literally go on Google right now, open another tab and type in Facebook ads course. I'm telling you, there's hundreds of them. Go and buy 2 of those. You're probably a friggin' Facebook ads expert. In fact, Facebook themselves have a friggin' course that you can actually take for, I think it's like £150 or something like that over in the UK. And you can actually go and get certified by Facebook themselves. So the skill is actually easy to pick up. It's the mindset though of even thinking of doing that sort of stuff first and foremost that is the most important bit. Now, working smart is actually better than working hard. I'm pretty sure everybody knows this, but a lot of people don't implement it. It's one of those things that's common sense, but it's not commonly practiced, if you will. And what I mean by that is, let's say you're starting an agency, right? And you know you need to do outreach. Well, a lot of people go like this. They just go to Google and start finding leads themselves and then start trying to do outreach by themselves, which is, technically the logical thing to do, but that's working hard instead of working smart. What working smart would look like is using something like Upwork or the hybrid system, where you use Upwork to build up cash flow to then invest into hiring virtual assistants that now send you can get 2 of these, for example, and you pay them like, I don't know, $300 each or something like that, and they'll do 50 emails for you per day or 50 Instagram DMs per day for you, right? Every single day, 5 days a week, to your actual ideal niche. Now that's working smart. You've gone from doing maybe 25 emails a day by yourself to literally and spending, at least 6, 7, 8 hours on that by yourself, to literally doing 50 outreach per day without touching anything. And what you're doing there is you're investing back in your business. You're working smart and you're making your money work for you instead of you working for your money, if you will. Now, you won't build a successful agency without a good team. That kind of like brings me back onto that kind of like what I was just talking about there, working smart. So your business is only as good as the people in your business. So if you want a good business, you need good people. Finding good people is a skill within itself. So you need to be able to find good talent on the front end and back end. What I mean by that is if you're running an agency, this is how it applies to you. You need good people that are like good lead sources, good first line writers, good personalized first line writers, if you will. So good VAs, if you will. And that's for getting your outreach done. You need to do lots of outreach, lots and lots and lots and lots of. The more outreach you do, the luckier you're gonna get, basically, and the richer you're gonna get. To be honest with you, it's not luck; it's just simple maths at this point. To be honest with you guys, but you want a good team for that, or you can just hire one person that has all this skill intertwined in them, in like one person, if you will. So they're good at lead sourcing, first line writing, and prospecting, if you will. So you can get one person that's really good on the front end for that. And then on the back end as well, you need good people, like good media buyers, good social media managers, good TikTok, actual page managers, that sort of stuff. Now, your first 100K, and this kind of like another lesson. I don't even know if we're on like step 7 or point 7 or 6 or whatever you want to call them. But yeah, your first 100K, going from 0 to 100K per year is the hardest you will ever do. But I'm telling you, after that, it gets, I know this sounds cliche, you probably heard it before, but after you make your first 100K, it gets easier and easier and easier and easier. And this is why I teach the hybrid system, because the reason why it gets easier is because you've got more capital to deploy. If you're already making 100K a year, and you actually have decent profit margins, like even just 70% profit margins, you're still making like 70K net profit. If you're making 70K net profit, right, you can literally invest maybe 2-3K a month or something like that into hiring first line writers or even running ads for your actual agency. Literally. So it actually gets easier and easier and easier. You can afford the best of the best software, the best of the best media buyers that also then come with the best of the best case studies. You can afford the best of the best virtual assistants, the ones that speak like the best fluent English, that sort of stuff, and are really good at personalized first lines. So the more cash flow you have, the easier business gets, literally, because you can deploy your capital. So instead of working hard for your money works hard for you. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, agency. Oh, so this is my kind of like next point. Your agency, here's what I found as like an entrepreneur that's now kind of like trying to transition from done for you to done with you to do it yourself. That's the natural evolution of things, by the way, if you didn't know that. So agency for me, right, is more of like a cash flow business. Here's what I've actually noticed, guys. Agency is like a cash flow business that makes me money and then some. You can easily make 50K a month from just an agency alone, 100K a month net profit from just an agency alone. However, you will always feel like a commodity, not like an actual authority figure, if you will. I don't know what it is, but with the agency stuff these days, I feel like I'm just working with my clients just to help them make money and stuff like that. I'm not really changing. It doesn't feel like I'm really changing their lives. But then when it comes to the consulting, the education side of things, I literally have students that send me videos of themselves dancing in their workplace because they literally have just recorded themselves just before they're about to hand in their resignation to their quote unquote boss, if you will. So that sort of feeling you can never beat, to be honest with you. I've had multiple testimonials from my agency and stuff like that, but it's never been somebody literally frigging dancing on video. I literally have people dancing on video. I literally have students that have literally gone from broke to living in their own penthouses, literally. And that's the best feeling I've ever come across, because I know what it's like being broke. Literally being broke. In fact, I'll try to find a picture and I'll throw it on the screen right here. This is kind of like where I started from. This is the actual bedroom I started from. I found a picture the other day on in my actual Google, in one of my photo hard drives or something like that on my actual computer. But this is the actual room. That, by the way, that room that you just saw on the screenshot that you should have just saw is the my very first video, if you go to my channel, my very first video, that is the above bedroom. So that was like the bedroom that I was sleeping in and going downstairs to record my video. So obviously I was not recording in that disgusting room. Don't ask me why that was with my ex, by the way. My ex was very, very messy. I love that. I still love that woman because she literally held me down while I was broke and whatnot. We're not together now or anything like that, but like, yeah, still got love for her, man. But like, listen to this then, guys. The next point is I still recommend, and this is just for the future, I still recommend moving from done for you services to done with you services. Done for you services has a cap. They're always, I don't care who you are, you know for a fact, if you're a businessman, there's always going to be a cap with done for you. The reason for that is because there's more human elements that need to be in place for you to provide the service. And what I mean by that is done for you is you're literally physically either you or your team's running the ads. That means if you take on 100 clients right now this month, most of your agencies right now will break. However, if you had an online program teaching how to run ads, so for example, let's say you're an e-commerce brand, right? And you let's say you're an agency that helps e-commerce brands, not an e-com brand. Let's say you're an agency that helps e-commerce brands with Facebook ads. What's gonna happen, right, is let's say you get 100 clients in a month. That's great, but I'm telling you right now, 99.9% of people watching this, in fact, I'd probably say 100 people watching, 100% people watching this, they literally physically couldn't even take that much clients on. Literally couldn't even physically take that many clients on. It would just completely break their business. Whereas if you had an online program, for example, and you was teaching Facebook ads to e-commerce brands, so it's the same thing, you're doing the same thing, it's just that the service delivery is different. Instead of doing it done for you, you're doing it kind of like in an online program or online course, if you will. Now what you can do is you can sell 100 of those a day and you wouldn't have to, bat an eye, if you will. Nothing would break. Literally nothing would break. So that is just how you scale up businesses. You need to productize your service so much you can actually put it in some sort of program. That, I'm not even joking, look at any guru right now or anybody who's anybody, I bet you any money they've done the same thing. Any money. That's the goal for everybody. See, I'm not just on here talking about, let's just do agency. No, I say do agency, yeah, build it up. But then as soon as you get comfortable and you genuinely get sharp, start transitioning into done with you and done for you. Oh yes, I've already given you that example of the going from done with you to do it yourself and DIY, if you will. So yeah, that's basically how I've been able to go from 0 to 300K, guys, in a year. And again, I've made more than probably like 400K USD, to be honest with you guys, in total and whatnot. Probably close to, I'm probably very not too far off making 500K in total sales, that is. But this is not, again, when I say 300K, I mean 300K British pounds, if you will, in a year. That doesn't mean, that's the max I've ever made. I just mean that in the last 12 months alone, that's how much I've made. So yeah, guys, honestly, feels absolutely insane. Never thought I'd actually, I thought I'd get here, and it's taken me quite a while, but I'm actually ahead of myself because I do want to become a 7-figure business owner before the age of 30 years old. So I'm definitely on track. Even if I just sit at where I'm at right now, technically we're actually making like 40K a month right now, which is like 50,000 US dollars. Like, even if I just sit where I'm at right now and just stay stagnant for 4 years straight, I'd still make, what's that? I think that's like 1.2 million or something like that. I'm not actually too sure what that is. Yes, let's say if I just make 300K a year times 4, that's obviously 1.2K British pounds, 1.2K million British pounds. Excuse me, why did I say 1.2K million? 1.2 million British pounds over 4 years, guys. But yeah, that's if I don't grow. Obviously, the point is to grow and get better every single day, which is what it's all about, guys. That's probably another good tip as well. It's not about trying to do it all at once. It's about just doing it, just getting better, 1% every single day. Anyway, guys, hope this was helpful. Go out there, crush it. Don't listen to nobody. Go after your goals. Love you guys. Peace.